Hello everyone and welcome back to another GTA Online guide, where today I'm going to give you a short guide to avoiding missiles, so let's waste no time and get to the guide. So as most of you will know, a missile is one of the most deadly things that one can come across when going about your business in GTA Online, and that is no more apparent than when flying around in aircraft. Whether you're just having a joyride around town or blowing up the noobs, you're bound to come across the ever so dreadful beeping sound, meaning that you're in for a rough ride. But are you necessarily in trouble? Well, there's a few things that everyone should know when it comes to missiles within the world of GTA Online, and in this guide I hope to give you the knowledge that will hopefully in one instance keep you alive should the worst happen. So the first thing you need to know about rockets is, they suck. Not damage-wise, but more referring to the tracking capabilities of most homing launchers and onboard weapons on aircraft. You see, as a homing missile follows its target, its maximum speed that it can turn is rather limited. A rocket simply cannot just sharply turn on the dot to follow its target, and I imagine that's because if they did that, flying aircraft in GTA Online would be pretty much impossible unless you were in passive mode or were playing on your own. Due to the limited turning speed of missiles, you can take advantage of this by being able to easily dodge incoming rockets that are flying directly towards you. Say if you are flying towards an enemy helicopter and they fire off a rocket, it's relatively easy to simply just turn out of the way of the rocket to avoid it. You can also circle your opponent with no worries of a rocket hitting you because its tracking simply cannot keep up with your sideways movement relative to your opponent. This is mostly done when inside a buzzard due to its acceleration and flying speed, but can also be done when inside a Savage or a Valkyrie, but the effectiveness of this in the latter helicopters is rather questionable. This is why when you get close to your opponent, should you find yourself in a helicopter battle, that you always resort to using your machine guns, because as long as your opponent is moving or strafing, the chances of you actually hitting them with a missile are little to none. Flying away from an enemy who is firing a rocket at you can almost always mean certain death, as the rockets can very easily track you despite having very limited cornering. That is, unless you're in an aeroplane, because these vehicles carry a lot of forward-facing movement on them, and the ability to avoid missiles that are chasing you can be much more easily avoided. The best known planes to avoid missiles are the Besra, Laser and the Hydra, as these are fast enough to warrant simply running away from the missile that's chasing you, provided that when it was fired the opponent was far enough away from you. The best known method of evading rockets, however, is by exploiting the limited sideways turning of the missiles. The best way to do that is by making tight horizontal circles. As soon as you hear the beeping sound for the missile lock, you should immediately begin to start your horizontal turns. Make sure to use your rudder to make the aircraft turn as tightly as possible, then it's just a matter of waiting until the locked on missile blows up behind you, or in my case a whole barrage of missiles. So now you know how to avoid missiles, it's probably time that you move on to combat flying altogether, right? Well, I happen to have an entire video series about GTA Online combat flying, covering all of the major aircraft in the game, so make sure to check those out if you want to get into combat flying. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Pyrerealm Gaming channel for loads more GTA Online guides coming to you very soon. See you around!